Well, I have to say that it's rather controversial, I would say, but I do not blame the daughters for Lear's downfall. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased, playing Goneril myself, so I see her point of view pretty strongly. But I think that she and certainly Regan and Cordelia are products of how they've been raised. They certainly carry their father's traits, but they've been raised in a certain way that have given.
Well, they're all chips off the old block.
Well, exactly.
Aren't they? They are all chips off. They've all got a trait of Lear's that they carry with them, I think. And ultimately, Lear is the one that asks the question. He sets them up in a public place, in court, to divide out the kingdom, and decides to do that by saying, which of you shall say doth love us most? It's
really healthy.
He starts it. It's really healthy. But of course, Cordelia needs to take the second place in blame, I think, don't you? Because you say nothing, and you could have just said, I love you so much, Dad.
But I think also, with Cordelia, she is that strong woman as well. She isn't just this sort of wallflower. Often it's sort of said that, there's the two...
It's perceived that she's this gentle, delicate flower, not
But actually,
all.
I think it takes a lot of courage to stand up in that moment and say, well, she doesn't have anything to say. How can she top this? I think she does look up to her sisters, and she's quite intimidated by that, I think. But then there's that family dynamic, isn't it, of that's how I see it, and then maybe for the two of you, it's sort of like I'm the favourite.
Well, yes, I mean, to publicly humiliate, basically, Goneril and Regan by openly saying that this is my favourite, this is our joy, and when clearly I think we've been managing Lear and looking after him for years, and there's no recognition of that whatsoever.
But then I think, especially for Cordelia, I have this thing of, he's our father, and that's it. Blood runs thicker than water, no matter if he is being sort of unreasonable or demanding, or if he's the king and he's also our father. And I think, when your parents get older, you'll do anything for them, and even if they are sort of maybe getting more aggressive because of their illnesses, or I think that's the sort of justification that Cordelia has.
But Cordelia doesn't end up with 100 knights drinking and farting and
because I don't have any land.
Bye.
I'm off to France.
So we have to deal with the devastation of King Lear trying to live a retired life, which is mainly of debauchery.
But then I have to jump in there and say,
do you?
I do have to jump in and say that he has given you his entire kingdom. So a few riotous nights,
Yes, but how are we meant to govern with all the noise? For Regan, massively. Yeah. At the moment, we're exploring the idea that she and Cornwall are sort of the posh and becks, if you like.
Yes.
Maybe the real posh. The idea that they're the Hello magazine couple, that they're very, very geared to outward appearance, and they feed off that. And I think that all comes from that first scene as well. I don't know how you feel about Goneril and public appearance, but it's all geared to being the good, dutiful daughters.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also think they've learned a way of managing Lear so that their lives are generally a show.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really know what's going on the inside. But I think I think certainly Regan makes a better show of her marriage with her husband, because I think there is a slight kinship between you and your husband.
Yeah, we have a great marriage.
I'm not sure how well Goneril is really masking the fact that she can't bear her husband.
I think I can see all of that. I find it incredibly sad, and I think that's what's part of makes me say nothing at the beginning, because I'm sort of in the middle of this whirlwind of people who are flattering and bowing to the king, and it's just empty words. And I've had the privilege of growing up with his favour and love, so I think it is that sort of the strength, but the naive view of the world that you don't need to lie or sort of flatter, and all this stuff just seems unnecessary.
But where does it come from? It comes from your dad. Your dad.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, my dad. Well, that comes into, we were discussing the other day if we have the same mother. And
jury's split, isn't it?
Yeah, we're not
jury
entirely
is split. Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
Well, the most obvious effect is the fact that the kingdom is being divided, because if there was a son, he would be the heir. And I think the girl, certainly Goneril and Regan, would have less to fight for because it wouldn't exist in the first place. Do you think that's fair? There wouldn't be...
I understand what you're saying there. Yeah, that's true. And that's why it sort of links back to the public show, because obviously our husbands are very important because, you know, I mean, I certainly think, if I may say so, in my marriage that Goneril is the one that wears the trousers. But officially, she still has to deal with this husband who just will not go to war. What is wrong with him?
My husband is the one that wears the leather trousers.
Yes, he is.
But this is interesting, like with all these marriages and stuff, it's sort of like, it's so modern in the way that these women just take control of their husbands almost.
Although we need our husbands as well.
Yeah.
What's great about the Cornwall and Regan relationship is that he needs her because she is the right to the throne, but she needs him because he's the strong male to get her there.
I think if he'd have had a son, he wouldn't necessarily have let me go so easily. I think it would have been even longer before he married me off.
Do you think?
Yeah, because he wanted to keep me close by, you know, and there's been this whole tournament of France and Burgundy trying to win her, but it's all sort of being prolonged because he doesn't want to let her go. She's his baby. And if there was a son, it would sort of solve that in a way.
Love my character.
Quite frankly, I have full sympathy with Goneril. I love her to bits. I think under different circumstances she could have been a really extraordinary woman, and unfortunately, with the time that she was born into, the family that she was born into, things just became twisted. But I think she certainly had potential to have been an amazing queen, a good person, a reasonable. She's intelligent. She's got, she's, as my father would say, she's no slouch.